Nietzsche. Let us begin where all true inquiry must, with the essence of human existence. I contend that the world is but a manifestation of the will, a blind, insatiable force that knows no rest. This will is the source of all suffering. For as long as we desire, we are never satisfied. The answer, then, is renunciation. To deny the will is to achieve a semblance of peace, a refuge from the torment of unfulfilled desires.
A poignant perspective, Herr Schopenhauer, yet one I cannot accept. Your philosophy, though eloquent, chains humanity to despair. You see suffering as a scourge to be escaped, but I see it as a crucible in which greatness is forged. The will to power, not renunciation, is the essence of life. It is through struggle, through the overcoming of suffering, that we become something more, creators, not mere victims. Your renunciation is an abdication of life itself. If we retreat into asceticism and deny our desires, we deny the very force that drives creation and discovery. Without the will to strive, what becomes of art, philosophy, or progress? Is not the beauty of existence found in its turbulence?
Turbulence, beauty and suffering. Nietzsche. You romanticize the very force that enslaves us. The will is not a source of creation but destruction. Art, in its highest form, provides an escape, a fleeting moment where we transcend the will, where we see the world not as it is, but as an eternal idea. Your will to power merely glorifies our chains.
Chains? No, Herr Schopenhauer, the will to power liberates. Art is not an escape but an affirmation. Consider the tragic play. It does not hide suffering, but celebrates the human capacity to face it head-on, to transform it into meaning. Suffering is not the enemy. It is the ally of growth and transformation. To flee from it is to flee from life itself.
You misunderstand the essence of my argument. Renunciation is not a retreat but a conquest over the will that enslaves us. The ascetic does not deny life out of cowardice, but out of wisdom. To turn away from the will is to find true freedom, a state untainted by the ceaseless demands of desire.
Wisdom? I see only resignation. You call it freedom, but what you describe is the death of vitality. The ascetic denies the richness of existence, shrinking from the challenges that define us. True freedom lies in the ability to affirm life, in its fullness, its joys, and its sorrows. To will the eternal recurrence of all things is the ultimate act of courage.
But is it courage, Nietzsche, or madness? The eternal recurrence you champion is a prison of endless suffering. To will such a cycle is to will unending torment. Why not seek liberation instead? To extinguish the fire of the will and find peace?
Because peace, as you define it, is stagnation. It is the antithesis of life. Life is becoming, growth, and change, always striving toward greater heights. To deny this is to deny what it means to be human. Suffering is not a torment to be extinguished, but a necessary companion on the path to greatness.
Then you would have not need more suffering, Nietzsche. It needs release. The endless striving, the eternal yearning, is the true chain. To mitigate suffering, one must understand it, and in understanding, rise above it, not through indulgence, but through renunciation. The wise man sees through the illusion of desire and steps beyond its grasp.
And in so doing, he steps beyond life itself. Herr Schopenhauer, your philosophy speaks not to humanity's strength, but to its fragility. You ask us to extinguish the fire within us for fear of being burned. But I say, let the fire blaze. Let it consume and transform. Suffering is not an enemy to be vanquished, but a force to be harnessed. It sharpens the will, steels the spirit, and propels us to overcome. To embrace suffering is to embrace life in its totality.
But what of meaning, Nietzsche? If all is will to power, a ceaseless striving, then where does the individual find solace? Without transcendence, without renunciation, is there not only chaos? How does your philosophy address the yearning for something greater, something eternal?
Meaning is not found, it is created. Each individual, through their will to power, becomes the artist of their own existence. There is no eternal, predetermined meaning. It is a canvas waiting for us to paint. The Übermensch does not seek solace, but affirmation. He does not ask what life can give him. He demands what he can give to life.
But there lies the flaw, Nietzsche. Not all are Übermensch. The majority are burdened by the weight of existence, crushed under the wheel of suffering. Your philosophy speaks to the exceptional. But what of the masses? Are they to be left adrift, drowning in their desires?
They are not to be abandoned but inspired. The Übermensch is not a tyrant but a beacon, a possibility for all who dare to rise. True leadership is not found in renunciation, but in empowerment. The masses, as you call them, do not need pity. They need challenge. To follow the path of the Übermensch is to awaken the dormant strength within.
Then let us speak of art, Nietzsche. For it is here that our philosophies might converge. To me, art is the escape from the will, a fleeting glimpse of the eternal. In the presence of great music, one transcends desire and suffering, if only for a moment. Is this not a kind of salvation?
Art is indeed salvation, but not as you describe it. It is not an escape, but an affirmation. The tragic art of the Greeks teaches us to confront the horrors of existence, not to flee from them. It shows us the beauty in struggle, the nobility in pain. Art transforms suffering into meaning, chaos into order. It is the highest expression of the will to power.
Yet even in tragedy, there is a yearning for something beyond, something greater. Does not the chorus in a Greek tragedy serve as a voice of transcendence, a reminder of forces greater than ourselves?
No, the chorus is not transcendence. It is humanity writ large. It reminds us not of forces beyond, but of the collective strength within. Greek tragedy is a celebration of human resilience, a dance with the abyss that affirms life, not denies it. Where you see escape, I see confrontation.
Nietzsche, it seems we are bound to disagree. You embrace the will and its torments. I reject it and seek peace. Yet I cannot deny the vigor of your vision, even as I lament its recklessness. Perhaps there is wisdom in both our paths, though they diverge so sharply.
And I, Herr Schopenhauer, see the nobility in your renunciation, though I cannot follow it. Your philosophy speaks to those weary of life. Mine speaks to those who would shape it anew. If nothing else, let us agree on this. Life, in all its mystery, demands to be confronted, whether through your quiet retreat or my triumphant ascent.
Agreed. And let us hope that those who hear us find their own path, whether through will's denial or its embrace. For in the end, philosophy must serve the individual's search for truth.
To that I raise my glass. May the search never cease.